Rohit sir, please start the lecture.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all. Today, we will be keeping a session on SSC MTS. Like yesterday, we talked about what is SSC CGL. Today, Rohit Pardesi, will be explaining you about SSC MTS. So, MTS, the word itself says multiple. Ma'am, is my voice audible?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, ma'am. So MTS stands for multitasking staff. So you'll be working as an assistant to the SSC CGL officers. This is a Group C post, and mostly the main job designation will be related to working as an office staff. You'll be working as a clerk. You'll be helping the office in multiple tasks related to data entry, related to data gathering, and making up of files, making up of notes, making up of reports, and many other such tasks. So today we'll be looking about MTS. So this exam is again conducted by the Ministry of Home Affairs for its various departments and different other ministries. For example, when we were yesterday talking about the principal controller for defense accounts, so where a person is working as a CGL, so there a person who's qualified CGL will be working as an auditor, and a person who's qualified MTS will be working as a staff who will be assisting the auditor there. For example, the auditor will be doing the auditor work, the auditing work related to various departments, while the data which is required for the auditing will be provided by the MTS. So MTS is also very uh, crucial job. Now looking forward, so this time the vacancies have been highly increased as we compare to the last time. Now we'll be talking about the examination procedure. Here itself we have two tiers, tier 1, tier 2, and then we have the final selection. The merit depends upon the main examination. So now, as you can all see on the screen, firstly we'll be talking about application process for the SSC MTS. So you need to get register yourself on the ssc.nic.gov.in website, where you'll be giving your basic details. And then once you create your profile, which is called as OTR, one time registration, you will be able to apply for various jobs, various vacancies which are available on the SSC website. Once you apply once you complete your application, once you upload all your documents, and then after making the payment, you'll be successfully registering yourself for the MTS. Can we move to the next screen? Next screen, please. Next slide. Okay. Now we'll be understanding about the MTS exam pattern. So as I already told you about that, for like last in the last lecture, I told you that for every department there are limited number of positions, and the people who apply are in hundreds and thousands. So they need to filter out people. So for filtering out people, usually every department keeps a tier 1 or paper 1. They both are synonymous to each other, and this is a screening test kind of exam. So in this, yesterday in CGL we talked about general intelligence, reasoning, numerical aptitude, general English, general awareness, and all other subjects. Here also the same, all subjects are there, the number of questions are same, the syllabus is same, but the level is a bit lower side, on the lower side as compared to CGL. And as the MTS is not so much, not so difficult exam when we compare the demand of the question, the level of the question, and other parameters as compared to CGL. So here again we have 100 questions, each question carrying one single mark, and we have 100 marks itself. The problem with MTS for people not clearing this exam is that the cutoff for this examination is very high. Now, friends, let me tell you what is the reason for the cutoff that is going very higher. So, usually, when we talk about that, nobody wants to work as a MTS. Everyone wants a very significant position, a significant job in their life. They are looking something big, and MTS does not give that scope of getting big because it is a grade C job, level C. The pay scale is very low, and you are not able, or you're not doing something significant that gives a meaning to your life, your meaning to the job. So why is the cutoff still going very high? Like for the last time when the first paper was of 200 marks, the cutoff was 152 marks, which is like you need to get 75 questions correct, net 75 questions correct, and this is a very difficult thing to get. So now the question arises, why is the paper difficulty very high, and even when the position offered is not very high? So the reason is that it gives the candidate a job security. Let's say there is a candidate, his name is ABC, and he wants to pursue something very high in life. Let's say he wants to go for UPSC, or he wants to go for some other good service which requires a good amount of 1.5 2 years preparation. So this exam, what does he do? So whenever a person is applying or is been preparing for something, so he needs a financial backup, mental peace, that he can easily survive those 1.5 2 years. So what people usually do, that they take small position jobs which give them a good kind of financial security, and good financial security, and also they have a mental stability, that they have a job in hand, so they can prepare for whatever the major goal in their life is peacefully. So here what happens, people with high credibility also apply, and they rise the cutoff, they usually increase the cutoff, because whenever people are getting higher marks, so the examination department, the SSC examination department is increasing the level of difficulty, so lower down the cutoff. For example, if we see the last year's cutoff, it was 200 out of 151 marks, which is roughly 75%, and 75% cutoff for an entrance examination is very high. So that is why SSC MTS, the cutoff goes very high, because it gives a sense of security to the candidate. It gets a mental peace that he can prepare for whatever other significant goal in his life. He can prepare for that very peacefully. Now the second paper, after clearing paper 1, next paper you're eligible for paper 2, which is descriptive test. In this you'll have to write essay, you'll have to uh, read out grammar and then solve the grammar, and you need to rephrase that. But as per the demand of the question, it goes on changing. Like firstly, like the pattern goes on changing for every year. It is not a constant pattern, but essay writing is a constant pattern. For example, you need to change the direct or indirect, change direct speech to indirect speech, or change indirect speech to speech. You need to rephrase many sentences depending upon the grammatical condition given on. Like for example, you need to change the voice of the sentence, you need to change the phrases of the sentence, etc., etc. But this paper is a deciding factor. Why? Like yesterday I told you that when your merit is decided, your merit is decided on both the papers, the calculation of total marks of a paper 1 plus calculation of a total marks of paper 2, and then a final merit is decided. Here there is no interview, there is only a computer based test related to your typing, which is pretty much doable. So what you need, what I am trying to emphasize here is how important is your paper 1 and how important is your paper 2, and everything is in your hand itself here. Now we'll be talking about, can we just change the next slide, come to the next slide. Okay. Here on the slide, we it is written as key responsibilities of an MTS. Now, after explaining this slide, we'll come back to what is the ideal strategy to prepare. Firstly, we'll finish off with the slides. So the as you can all see on the slide, it is related to office administration, it is related to physical support, it is related to cleaning and maintenance, and it is related to support and assistance. So here the work which is been designated to an MTS is not of so high profile or not very significant, which is adding some meaning to the life. The only goal for this examination, like a candidate should be having while writing this examination, he is that he should have, whenever he is getting in position of an MTS, he gets that sense of financial security, that mental security, that he does not have to look for any kind of other job now, because he have a stable job now. He can prepare without any hesitation, and he must be mentally and financially both stable. So you do not look to this exam as a group C or group D exam, or the work which I'll be doing is not of so worth, or why should I prepare so much hard for such an examination which will be giving me a very low scale job, low pay job, etc., etc. The only motive you while preparing for this exam, that if you are someone who is able to get into some kind of government service, some kind of defense service, or any other walk of life, you should only consider this exam as a sense of security exam. Once you get into the service, a different kind of confidence is with you, money is with you, mental stability with you, and then the respect also you get in the society while you are working. And when you sit idly preparing, so there is a lot of pressure. Like there might be n number of candidates who might be preparing for 2 years, 3 years, and they'll need income from their home, from their friends, from any other sources. But when you start earning yourself and you need to prepare for something bigger, so that time MTS helps you. MTS, the office hours, as I have a few friends who are working as MTS and CGL, the working hours are usually 9 to 5, which is roughly 8 hours, 9 hours of your day. And even while in office you can study peacefully. There are no like there are almost very few days where you have full loads of work, but most of the time you must be having idle time that you can study. As it is a government job, there is no pressure like corporates and all. So consider MTS as a secure job from which you'll have freedom. Please move on the next slide. Next slide, please. Can we move to the next slide, please? One more slide lower down. Okay. Now, this slide is related to strategic approach. For every exam, what is the most crucial thing? The first thing are, there are two crucial things for every exam. The first one is the syllabus, and second one is previous year papers. Now, when you look at the syllabus, for the paper one, it is mathematics, general knowledge, reasoning, and English. The syllabus for CGL and MTS is the same. Now, candidates who are targeting both the examinations, CGL and MTS, I assure you, if you complete the CGL syllabus wholeheartedly and you follow the syllabus religiously, you solve the previous year paper, you solve the mock test, you will be 100% sure to go ahead with MTS. Because I told you the level of MTS is much lower to CGL. So all the candidates will be applying or preparing for both MTS and CGL. I would advise you that you prepare CGL very well. You prepare CGL in such a way that nothing is left, no stone is left unturned. And once you prepare for CGL very wholeheartedly, MTS will be very easy. You'll sail uh, without any hesitation. So here it is written on the screen is understanding the syllabus, developing a study plan, regular practice, staying updated with current affairs, and thorough revision. So what all these points? Let me decipher each point individually. Understanding the syllabus. There is a set syllabus here in both CGL and MTS. You do not have to read a number of books. You need to read one or two books for each section and you're good to go. For example, when we are talking about the quantitative aptitude section, this section consists of 25 questions in CGL and 25 questions here also in MTS. Now, these 25 questions, you pick up any one good quantitative aptitude book. Let's say I used to follow R.S. Agarwal. So, in R.S. Agarwal quantitative aptitude, you have all the topics covered, you have all the basic to the higher level types covered, you have good 120 questions covered. Now, your strategy for mathematics should be to understand various topics. The topic should will be like ratio and proportion, averages, percentage, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, time, speed and distance, mixture and alligators, and much more. So you need to understand these topics, you need to summarize the theory, you need to practice sums. And practicing maths is one of the best return on investment you can give on. The more you practice, the more return you will get on the exam day. The second section when we cover, it is about the reasoning. Reasoning also, you need to know all the main details of the syllabus. There are various points such as there is analogy, there is Venn diagram, there is alphabetical order, there are numerical orders, there are mirror images, etc., etc. Get a good reasoning book. Maybe you can get RS Agarwal or any of the Aryan publication which is contemporary in today's relevancy. So once you complete the syllabus, you pick up the previous year question papers, you solve the questions, model questions from the textbook, we are good to go. Next, we have general knowledge. So as I've noticed in the past 2 years, what is happening in SSC, CGL, and MTS. So here in general knowledge, there is always a one-liner general knowledge. There are no 2 3 line questions that what is the significance of this thing or that thing. They'll simply ask you who won this particular prize, who won the Wimbledon, which team was the finalist of the UEFA League or the T20 World Cup, or this is related to sports. There may be related to news on something related to books. Like for example, in 2021, so a book name like God of Small Things was the question, and it was written that it was written by whom. So the answer was Arundhati Roy. So you need to learn or imbibe the static part of the current affairs very well. You need to know the facts. So in general knowledge, you can pick any of the yearbook which is covering last 6 months current affairs. You have many online resources available which are posting daily SSC, CGL related and MTS related current affairs. You just have to go through once in a day. You can invest 10 to 15 minutes daily, and once you get into the zone of that particular section, you'll be very it will be very easy for you to solve those questions. The next section remains is about the English. In English, you have again 25 questions both in CGL and MTS. In CGL, each question carries for 2 marks, while in MTS it is for 1 mark. So in CGL, what happens? The level of English again in CGL is much higher as compared to MTS, because the job demand is as such. In CGL, you'll be auditing things, you'll be administering things, you'll be talking to people, you'll handling the man. And while in MTS, you will be not doing as hefty and as challenging work as CGL. So the level of English is also here on the lower side. So once again, I'll tell you that the level of preparation for CGS, if it is good, you'll be good to go for MTS. Only the thing will be additional here is a lot of practice of MTS papers. So moving ahead, it is also related to a thorough revision. What happens with revision? If you are revising a single thing multiple times, what happens, if you do not even know on the exam day the particular question, it will be very easy for you to eliminate the rest of the options which you have continuously revised, and from that you get additional knowledge. Like, you have that only one piece of knowledge, from that one piece of knowledge you can eliminate the rest of the options, and this is what where revision helps. The next slide. Please move to the next slide. Okay. So here the slide talks about the rising cutoff for SSC MTS, understanding the trends. So firstly, I told you why are the cutoffs rising? Because good number of candidates who are well versed in these sections are writing this exam, and what are they doing? They're increasing the cutoff. Why? The main reason is that they do not want to stick to this job, or this job is not very much prestigious, only because the job is giving them a financial security. Now there is an increased competition, there is good improved candidate preparation which we just spoke about, there are limited vacancies and enhanced performance. So all these things are related to high cutoff. I told you that the cutoff is going near 75%, 70%, which is ideally very high. Like 70 and 75% in an entrance exam, it is next to impossible for a candidate who is not well versed, who is not practicing regularly, to get him to such a good score. So here again, score scoring high remains constant. Now a lot of students also ask us questions related to that, the cutoff is so high, will be able to pass through, will be able to solve the questions, and such many things. But one thing is very important. If even there are 100 seats and the cutoff is high, they will be selecting 100 people who have scored the highest marks. Our aim should not be the benchmark of cutoff. Our aim should be to get the maximum marks out of the total marks. Now for that you do not have to think about cutoff. Cutoff should be in the back of your mind, so that you have to feel in your mind that I should not be scoring below this at any cost. I need to score plus 20 plus 30 marks, always above the marks which was the last cutoff. So once you secure this thing, you do not have to worry after the exam that what will be the cutoff after the result, how many students are getting selected, and in such things other than this. So you need to keep your targets high. You need to at least target 20 to 25 marks plus of the last time's cutoff, so that you'll be able to sail through it very easily. Moving ahead, please select the next slide. Next slide, please. Can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, till the next slide comes up, we'll be discussing about your ideal strategy. So a strategy is not an individual strategy for an entrance examination. The strategy should always be related to the two important things which are related to you. One is your strength, other is your weakness. For example, a candidate might be very good in mathematics, and that is why his strength that he will be able to do 20 to 23 questions out of the 25 of mathematics, and pretty much good in reasoning or English or the GK part. So you need to have at least two strengths, that among the two sections, let's say maths and reasoning, there are 50 questions. So you are able to do 44, 45 questions easily. So this gives you an edge that I am good to go with these questions. Now in English, it is an easier side. People usually target all 25 questions and they are able to get 23, 24 correct. And for the general knowledge, there are 25 questions. If you prepare very good, you'll be scoring 15 plus. So now this gives you an edge that if I am out of 100 questions targeting 92 questions to get them correct, and out of that, let's say on the D day you get 85 86 questions correct out of the 91 92 which you targeted, you are already winning the race. You don't have to think about the cutoff, you don't have to think about anything other parameters which are related to the exam, which are related to your selection or which does not let you get selected. So when you target high, how will be this happening? You need to develop your strengths and you need to also focus on the weakness. Now, a person who does not have a very good mathematical background, if he is giving all his time to mathematics, 25 questions, even on the D day, what happens? He'll not be able to solve all the 25 them. Maybe after giving a lot of hard work and dedication, he'll be able to solve 15 16. But what should such person do? He should target all the remaining 25 of reasoning, good hold on 25 English, and good hold on the 20 21 questions of GK. So this will compensate and this will balance the other subjects. So you need to find your weakness. Now how will you find your weakness? Take any previous year paper, set the time of the examination and start solving the paper. Once you solve the paper, you are in the zone. You automatically get what was your weakness, what is your strength. Now once you know what was your weakness and what is your strength, the next thing is that you should target what is, you should give more focus on what is the strength, and also try to balance up what was your weakness. Okay. Now the next slide talks about navigating the challenges of SSC MTS exam. So time management, exam pressure, and maintaining focus. So these are the bulwarks of the examination. Time management. Why time management? You have 1 hour, you have 100 questions. 1 hour and 100 questions, which gives you very less time. A few seconds for to solve one particular question. You will be having like one fourth of a minute for each question. So this will be very difficult. So on exam day you cannot just sit and solve the, you should already, the question by reading itself should be solved, and you should be only doing the calculation work on the paper. This should be the level of practice in mathematics and reasoning and the level of memorization in general knowledge for you to get passed through the exam. Okay, next slide. Embarking on your journey to success. So now we spoke about the exam pattern, the number of questions, your strengths, your weakness, your planning related to getting through the cutoff, thinking about getting plus 20 plus 30 marks above the cutoff. So this exam does not only provide you a stable career, but also it gives you an important opportunity from which you will be building the foundation basis for yourself as a individual who's contributing to the society. So MTS is an important job opportunity for those who are looking those who are looking to financial security, financial stability, who will take this job as a stable platform and then succeed the other important heights of their life. Somebody who wants to go to who wants to join the civil services but does not have the financial security right now, the person should definitely go for MTS, get a job in hand, and prepare wholeheartedly without any pressure, both mental and financial. So if you have any doubts related to any stage of the process, right from filling of the application to preparation of the examination, the strategy, you can always connect us. We have given all our details. You can call us, email us, or give any kind of doubt call to us. Our executive will definitely try to help you, and we are eager to solve your doubts and want more and more of such candidates to sail through this exam and contribute to the society. Thank you. If anyone has any kind of doubt, they can unmute themselves and ask directly, or they can also put their doubts in the chat box. I'm here to solve your doubts. You can feel free to ask any doubts.
Okay, then we are ending the session. Thank you for joining.